The right time isn't something you wait for, it's something you create.
Start believing in your voice and trusting yourself.
You don't need permission from anyone to get started.
Failure is how we grow. Hey guys, welcome to What I Wish I Knew Sooner. I'm Serenity.
And I'm Senna, we're both digital marketers and creators.
And today we're going to be talking about why we always feel like we have to wait for the right time.
Yeah, start before you're ready. I think if there's one quote that we hear a lot through our podcast and talking to different founders and entrepreneurs and just interesting people out and about that we're networking with, a lot of the reoccurring themes we hear is to start before you're ready. I think a lot of people put things off for so long and they'll sit on ideas and they'll wait till it's perfect, which I think we've all been guilty of doing, right? But you need to just start because get it out, you can make it perfect later. Otherwise, you never will.
Exactly. And then by the time comes, you'll be like 35. And then you'll be like, it's too late for that to happen. Maybe someone else will do it.
Or someone already has.
Yeah. It could have been you.
Yeah. Because I think loads of people have the same ideas, right?
Yeah.
Like your business idea probably isn't that unique. No. Unfortunately. It is all about who just gets it out faster, to be honest, at the end of the day. And I think because we're living in a world now with AI and so many tools where you can just build a business like that.
Like an hour.
You know, everyone's like vibe coding now on Lovable and like publishing their own websites and apps. You want to just get it out there and perfect later.
Yeah, I think it's so important to remember, like, to just have that high agency, like go, 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 go. Because if you're sitting on something, that value or that knowledge or whatever it is you have could change your life. And if you see someone else's life change and just always dwell on that because that could have been you, then you're going to be kicking yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you do try it and then it does fail, you're learning from that failure. At the end of the day, failure is how we grow. I love failing in public. It's one of my favourite things to do. Do you know why? I know it sounds crazy and it sounds fucking delusional, but if you fail, then people will see that you're not afraid and that you can just continue to do that and they'll get used to it.
Yeah, and you're only like one failure away
from your success. Exactly.
Yeah, I just think everyone waits until they feel ready, but unfortunately that time will never come. You're never going to be 100% ready. I think this message could potentially scare people a little bit because I think there's also a competing kind of thought of, oh, but I have time, like why are we always rushing everything? So there is that kind of thought as well, but we're not saying that you don't have time. Like, I do think, you know, we are relatively young in the grand scheme of things. I don't think everyone has to, like, make it before the age of 30.
Yeah.
But I also don't think you should be kind of holding back your potential.
Yeah, you do still have time, but you're essentially just trying to execute faster to get there faster.
It's exactly that. Like, I don't want people to think... Because I think even I used to get scared by this kind of messaging, you know, like the kind of entrepreneur bros that would be like...
What, who? Like Stephen Bartlett? Or...
Just, you know, that vibe of like, you're lazy, just do it.
But the thing is that I don't think it's laziness. I had this struggle the other day. I was talking to ChatGPT and Claude, and I was like, am I just lazy? And
what the hell? You were like the least laziest person I've ever met.
I was just like, why does nothing happen? Like, I'll create something or I'll do something, but it never gets past that. And I was like, is it laziness? But they said it's not lazy. Claude said it wasn't lazy.
ADHD.
No, for real. No, I'm not even joking. I looked it up and I had this like awakening. Because I realised it was ADHD.
Once the spark and the excitement dies.
Yeah, and then I was like, I'm going to have to now watch videos on or go to therapy on how I can get past that. Because imagine reaching your brain's full potential. Like, the reason I'm not reaching my brain's full potential is because I'm undiagnosed, but my undiagnosed ADHD just basically like puts a blocker there, and I want to get past that block. I've only just realised that this week.
Yeah, that's interesting. There must be like coping mechanisms and tactics to work to your full potential.
Yeah, I really hope so, because I'm getting so pissed off at
But at the same time, like, I think,
blocker.
You know, didn't you once interviewed someone that said ADHD is your superpower?
Yeah.
And I do agree with that for you 100%, because I think Serenity's really good at, like, when she has an idea, she will go for it and she'll go 100%. And, you know, maybe the spark will die eventually. But I think that's also why we're good at working together as well, like,
I think
with
so
the
too.
podcast. Like, we could have easily abandoned this after the fun of like the first few months, but we want it to be a success, and we keep plugging away and we motivate each other.
Yeah.
Like we work really well together. But yeah, I'm always impressed by how you go after an idea and you make it. She'll have an app idea, and by the end of the week, it will be live.
No, by the end of the day, it's crazy.
Incredible. Whereas, like, I'm still guilty of the waiting for the right time, because I just have so many things going on in my brain at once, and I'm like, I need to just sort one thing out, and then.
But that's good. That means you won't burn yourself out like me. You're like actually being smart about it and taking time. Whereas I, like, my ADHD like hyper focuses me, and I have to focus on that and nothing else. Literally, Johnny will walk in the room and try and talk to me, but I'm so hyper focused that I just can't get out of it.
Yeah, I think it's good to have a balance of that. But something that I actually have on my screensaver, because I have my vision board, is just make it exist and you can make it good later. I just want to, this year, just start actioning the ideas that I have and just putting it out there. And yeah, there's time, like we said, there's time to make it perfect, but the person that gets it out first will win.
Because you can iterate as time goes on. Like, Click, like, their app wasn't incredible when they first launched it, but they've like got better and better and better over time.
And because they were like one of the first with that idea,
now they're the most well-known.
Yeah, exactly.
Ones. Yeah, I love that.
I think a lot of people wait because they want to feel more confident in an idea. I also read that, because I think maybe I've mentioned this before, I'm a massive procrastinator, right? I will put off tasks because, and I read that the reason I procrastinate is because I'm actually a perfectionist.
Shocker.
Which I like to tell myself. I'm like, all right, I'm a procrastinator, but it's because I'm a perfectionist. Like, if I'm going to make something, I want to make it good. And that's something that I'm also battling with, and I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard not to want it to be perfect, because when other people see it, you want them to feel impressed, or just for your own sake, you want to be like, okay, it's perfect, it's ready. But again, like what we said, nothing is ever going to be or feel ready. It's funny with the podcast, like shorts or something, I'll just be like, done, let's just execute, go, go, go. Where Senna's like, no, we need to make sure the captions are correct and everything, which makes sense because people need to read your captions.
But the thing is as well, like something with social media is that I'm also trying to like get into the mindset of, I think often with everything I do, I'm quality over quantity, but I think with social media, it has to actually be more quantity over quality, especially like, you know, with especially at the beginning, like, you know, apps like TikTok and stuff that prefer more authentic content and daily posting. Some people are posting like 3 or 4 times a day, right?
Yeah, I try.
They're not expecting polished videos.
No.
They're just expecting quantity. So I think I need to get more in the mindset of that, because when I put something out on social media, I still do want it to look good and I want it to look polished, and I do get in my head about that.
I think it depends what platform though. I think every platform is different. So like TikTok, I think, yes, 3 to 4 videos a day, you can look like absolute crap and just post it. It's like, that's what the app is for, right? And I think that's why I like it, because I do not look polished every day. Whereas I think Instagram, even if you post like once or twice a week, if you post on like a Monday, Wednesday, repeatedly, the algorithm understands that this is your system and will push it out further, because it likes systems, and it's not about how much you post every day on Instagram. I also think you have to remember that when it comes to social media, a lot of people don't realise that they're posting because they want validation, but really what they need to be doing is providing value to other people, because that's the only way people are gonna like or interact with your content, is because you're providing them with value. So your travel content is really good because you're showing people exactly where you're going and what to do and what was good and what was bad, you know what I mean? It's not just like me.
That's so true, actually, because, you know, obviously you can look at like a vanity metric, like a like.
Yeah.
But actually it's the saves that make me so happy.
Yeah.
Especially on like my trip content, like, you know, I do the solo trips, and if someone saves my itinerary, I'm like, oh, using it.
Exactly.
So like it might only be 2 people, but I'm like, wow, 2 people got real value out of that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And those 2 people will multiply into more and more people. And I just think, like, we've had many people on this podcast, and they always say at the end of the day, it's about wanting to help people. And it's so true. It's about humanity. It's about being there and helping other people. And that's why they like you.
Yeah. Also on the validation point, a lot of people look for validation in an idea before they get started. And I think it's important that, you know, you don't always have to share every idea with people and get their agreement with it. If something feels right to you and it's addressing, because I think like the best business ideas are based on issues that you've personally experienced and you've seen, and not everyone's going to understand that because not everyone will have experienced the same issues as you, and you don't need permission from anyone to get started. I think something that stops me a lot of the time is that I always kind of look for permission, whether it's from like parents, even though I'm 30 years old, or like friends. I want someone to be like, yeah, that's a great idea.
Go for it. Oh my God.
But why can't I tell myself that?
Yeah. No, I think that's one of the biggest thing that holds people back and struggles with. I also struggle with that sometimes as well. If someone actually says like, oh, I think this is a good idea, you're like, oh, okay, I'll run with it then. And it's just kind of like, why couldn't you do that anyway for yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think naturally you do want affirmation, don't you? And I think as well, you know, like with one of your ideas, if you did have someone to be like, yeah, that's great, and be a cheerleader, it probably will motivate you to carry on. And
yeah, I agree.
It's, again, balance. But.
I do think that the reason why we all struggle with this issue is because from when we're children, we are constantly asking for permission. We ask permission to go to the bathroom, even though that should be a normal thing to just go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
We ask permission for everything from a child, like from when you're born, right? And I think that's where we're constantly looking for permission from others instead of just going, oh, I can actually go and just do this.
Yeah, and I guess it comes back to self-trust as well, just like knowing and believing in yourself that you have the right answers.
Yeah. I think once you start believing in your voice and trusting yourself, it makes such a difference. Like, ever since I've started to actually respect my own opinion and realise I have an opinion, I feel like a complete different person. One piece of advice that I could give you is like, when you do find yourself going, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Like, what if other people think about X, Y, Z about me? Stop thinking about them and just think about what you want, what's going to make you happy, because you're not living here for them, babe.
Yeah. And also, like, your friends and family aren't your target audience in most cases. So don't think about their opinion on a situation. Think about the person that you're trying to help.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess, like, with the podcast, me and Senna just try new things. Like, Senna will just go to an event, interview people. Then I'll go to an event and interview some different people. And we'll see if we like it. Then we were like, should we go to the streets? Like, it's just streets. We did. We went to the streets, went to Carnaby Street, and we built our confidence through taking that first step of action.
And we're trying so many new things, even with the event. So we're hosting our first event in a few weeks, and we've never done that before, but we're giving it a go. And we've got like 30 people signed up. We've got a whole wait list. So like people are seeing the value in what we're doing. And imagine if we never did it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
if we were too scared to put ourselves out there.
Yeah, like for example, the interviews that we do, we're talking to real people with real life experience, and then they tell people their experience, which helps other people through social media. And it's like, if no one else is creating this stuff, then who else is going to do it, right? If you're not creating and putting stuff out there, who else will do it? People need to hear your voice because you have value, and something that you could say to someone else could change their whole entire life.
So guys, what we want you to take away from this is start before you're ready, do things badly, learn as you go, treat things as an experiment because you will work it out eventually. And the people that move forward aren't always the ones that feel ready, they're just the ones that make a start.
Go ahead, do it. You have nothing to lose. Whatever it is you have, or you just showing up online, can change your life. I've seen it change so many other people's lives, so just try it.
The right time isn't something you wait for, it's something you create.
All right, well, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram. Comment below if you have any questions, and we will get back to you really soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.